hands in the air. They did it.
So let us prepare our hearts and minds to celebrate these graduates of the class of 2022. Give them another round of applause. At this time, we will have the welcome by Ms. Adrienne Wilson, our fourth and fifth grade teacher. Give her a round of applause as she comes.
to the place for which I pray. Second, I want to give advice, and that's to our soon-to-be graduates. And lastly, I want to give some gifts to our soon-to-be graduates. So we leave the gifts at the end. Let's start with giving thanks. So graduates, I'm going to need your help. So as I make some announcements, I'm going to ask all of you to give a really strong round of applause because I need your help. Can you do that? Okay. So that's a good practice. So the first group of applause is, and families out here, I want to ask you to do the school thing and raise your hand and play along with me a little bit. I know sometimes when you come to school, we were nervous about raising our hands, but I need to see who's in the audience. So if you are a parent or a guardian of one of these fine young scholars in front of me, please raise your hand. Keep them up. Scholars, let's give them a round of applause and thank them. But I know it's not just parents and guardians here today. So if you are an aunt or an uncle to one of these fine scholars, raise your hand. Let's give them a thank you. These are the folks who are here to support you and have put in the work since you were born to support you getting here. I'm sure there must be some grandparents in the house. If you're a grandparent, raise your hand proud. Let's give them a big thank you. If your children are like my children, this might be hard for our graduates to give a round of applause, but if there's siblings in the crowd, okay, I know my son wouldn't always give a round of applause for his sister, but if you're siblings and you're here to support your brother or sister up here, give your hand up, and let's give them a round of applause. Thank them. And I'm sure I left some folks out, but if you're here to support these young scholars, and I did not say a category that reflected who you are, but you're here today, just raise your hand, and we want to give you a thank you as well. All right. All right. Well, you know what that means. That means everybody here is family, so that's good. Now, I want to ask everybody in the audience to once again give all of our graduates up here a round of applause. And I have a few more categories where I'm going to ask both our audience and our graduates to help me along. There's a lot of people that put in the work to get us here over the years and this year, so I want to recognize them. First, our principal, Mr. Watterson. She's off working, making sure folks have masks and everything else, but she was up here earlier talking about Ms. Keith, who's done a lot of work. Many of the teachers are standing, but I want to ask the faculty who is sitting to stand up for a minute. All Merrick faculty, please stand up. There's a lot of people behind the scenes who helped to make this event what it is. Traditionally, Merrick, we've had our graduation ceremony in our gymnasium. This year, we're outside just to have extra safety precautions for you and your children. But it wasn't easy making sure we put this together the right way, and hopefully you'll enjoy our ceremony. So it's too many names for me to discuss, but you will see them around. They helped you get in this morning. They'll be directing you after you leave here. They'll be handing out things, and there'll be folks you won't see who helped put in the work for today to happen. So I want to recognize them and give them a round of applause and thank you. And last but not least, we have a board of trustees, and we have our chairwoman here today, Ms. Camille Dalgetty-Jarvis. I'd like to ask her to stand. Many of you don't know because if you don't join the monthly board meetings, which tend to not be too exciting because we go through a lot of formal things, we make a lot of big decisions. And so we had a board meeting just the other day where we approved our budget for next year. That budget reflects, I know your scholars are leaving us, but if you have any other children in Merrick or you have ones coming down the road, we made some big investments in the future of Merrick, and we made some big decisions about the future of Merrick. So between expanding to middle school in the years ahead, investing more in our teachers training, and resources that we know our kids need. And we learned a lot this year with our kids coming back after almost a year and a half of interrupted instruction and remote instruction. Next year is going to be one of our best years ever. So I want to thank our Board of Trustees for their support. And to our graduates who are up here, but again, soon to be graduates, I want to just let you guys know that for the next year, and now I'm going to put some pressure on you, especially with the cameras here. For the next year, you are the face of Merrick. And if you don't believe me, a lot of schools, we put on our website and in our brochures and our images pictures of our graduates, right? With their caps on and their gowns. Pictures from today are going on our website. They're going to be in brochures. When we talk to our new families about joining Merrick next year, we're going to show pictures of you. So I hope throughout the whole ceremony, you're ready to show your best side, right? Yes? Great smiles, good posture, right? Because you are the face of us. Even though you're leaving, you are the face of us for the next year. And we're ready to celebrate you today and get some great pictures. Also, as much as this is a celebratory event, I'd like to ask everybody to take a moment of silence, put their heads down for a second, and just reflect on, we've had 2 years and ongoing hardship. Merrick community has lost members. Plenty of people in the audience have lost family members. There's people who we wished would have been here today to support our scholars in this moment, but they're not with us. So I just want to recognize all those folks. If you've had any loss or you know of anybody with loss, I want to take a moment to honor those people because they are here in the room in spirit. So let's just take a moment of silence. Thank you. So as I said, this has been a difficult year. And besides giving thanks and taking a moment of silence, I am now here to give our graduates a word of advice. So families, I'm facing you, and if you're a parent or a guardian or a family member, I want you to hear this advice, and I'm asking your help because your kids are leaving us. But I would tell you this is the same advice I give my kids. It's the same advice I've been giving for the last 22 years to the students across all grades that I've worked with because I think this is the secret sauce to success in life. And I'm going to give our scholars this advice today. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple. Probably everybody in the audience at some point or another has followed this advice because it's no secret. But I want our scholars to hear it. And as somebody who led middle schools for 10 years as a principal and worked in middle schools for over 15 years, I know what you guys are about to go into, and I'm a father of a middle school student. So I think I really know what you guys are going to get into. And I want to give you guys advice so you could be just as successful as everybody else who went before you was successful in middle school, high school, college, and beyond. You guys ready to hear the advice? Yeah? And there's a test afterwards. You have a pencil? No? Okay, we'll get you a pencil, piece of paper, and if you pass it, we're going to give you a diploma today, okay? Yes? All right. You thought testing was over. All right, there's no test, but I want you to remember it up here. And honestly, I want you to test yourself in life, okay? So let's get to it. The first piece of advice, which I think is really straightforward, but I think is really hard. It's probably harder now today than it's ever been, which is you have to believe in yourself, okay? Let me just say that again and let it marinate for a minute. You have to believe in yourself. And that's really hard. I think it's really hard for you guys because I know my son at home is always showing me something on TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, whatever he feels he can show me, which sometimes is a little bit crazy. So I know the stuff he's not showing me is much crazier. But I also notice a lot of stuff he's looking at is kids that look like him, doing really interesting things. Sometimes, when I enjoy it, it's kids doing phenomenal things, successful things, showing something with their skills or their intellect that they're proud of, that their parents are proud of, their family's proud of. But that's not usually what I see. A lot of times I see embarrassing stuff. I see people making fun of other people. I see people judging everybody based on I don't even think it's 30 seconds sometimes, but like a really quick image or video, and then all the comments of what everybody says. I know my son even tried, well, he has a TikTok, at least one that I know he has. Might even have a secret one. I don't know about you guys. I hope you don't. But I know that with some of the stuff he shared where he was proud of some accomplishments, he showed me some of the comments where somebody said something negative, and he let that get in his mind. I said, why are you worried about negative comments? In fact, people put a lot more energy in negative comments than they do positive. If people are silent, they're usually supportive. They kind of like what you're doing. The people that have something to say negative, they usually want to get their words out. So you're going to get a lot more negative comments in life about things you're trying to do, or if you believe in something and other people don't see it, you get a lot more negativity before you get people actually seeing and believing what you think you can do. So my first piece of advice is believe in yourself. You got that? That sounds easy. It's not easy in this world. In fact, it's only going to get harder. Okay? So believe in yourself. That's the first piece. Second, put in the work. Work hard. My dad used to say put in the work. I like to say work hard. You know what put in the work means? I don't care what you think you're not good at. Math, basketball, science, ELA, whatever it is in life. Okay? You can make a long list of whatever you think you're not good at. I almost guarantee you this, though. Anything you're not good at, you just haven't had enough practice with. You heard that? Anything you think you're not good at, you just haven't had enough practice with yet. Yeah, I like sports, so I think I'm going to use a basketball example. So I'm sorry if you don't play basketball. If you think you can't shoot a foul shot, you can say, okay, I don't shoot foul shots. I'm not going to try anymore. Or you can spend countless hours in the gym or on the basketball court practicing that shot, trying different styles, different things with your body, little things to warm up. I guarantee you this, with all those hours of practice, you'll be better than where you started. You may not be the best ever. You may become the best ever. But with more practice always comes betterment. You're always going to get better at something. So where you are right now, how you feel about yourself, what you believe in yourself, don't think you can't do anything you believe in. And if you're not doing well in something, or you think you're not doing well in something, or somebody tells you you're not doing well in something, especially on TikTok or one of these other places, put in the work, put in the practice. Because I guarantee you, you will get better, you will excel. And it seems simple, but it's really hard to put in the practice. How many, did a balloon go off? Just making sure. All right. All right. The balloon agrees with me, put in the work. You see that? So, number one, believe in yourself. What's number two? Can I hear all the graduates? What's number two? Put in the work. Number one is believe in yourself. Put in the work. Okay. The third one may be the hardest of all, because I don't see how you can do the first two without the third one getting in the way. And I think right now and in your future, this is going to become tougher and tougher. In fact, some of you are struggling with this right now. The third one, like my dad used to say to me every time I left the house, and it annoyed me, and he still says it to me every time I leave the house when I go visit, is stay focused. Stay focused. Some of you right now are staring off at something. Some of you are thinking about something in your head, not even hearing what I'm saying, and that's okay. Maybe I got your attention back. It is hard to stay focused in this world. I don't remember the numbers, but I'm going to try to guess because I read it recently. When I was your age, something like the attention span of the average person was like 20 seconds or something like that. And nowadays with technology and with people on their phones all the time, I think it's like 13 seconds or 10 seconds. Those numbers are probably off, but it's somewhere around that. It's like been cut in half over the last 2 decades. And some of you right now in the audience, I'm not trying to call anybody out, you might have been on your phone just checking other things. I know sometimes I feel like my phone is vibrating. It's not even vibrating, but I'm so used to looking to see if I caught everything, right? But if you really believe in yourself and you've got distractions everywhere, a lot of those distractions are pulling you away from your core beliefs about who you are and who you want to be. If you're trying to put in the work and the effort in school or in life, and you're getting distractions and things everywhere calling for your attention, you're just not going to get there. So these 3 pieces of advice, I think they're simple. I think they're easy to remember. I think they work for you as young people. I think they work for everybody in this audience as older, wise people. I don't want to call us older folks. But they're some of the hardest things to do. And during the time I've been talking, some of us have already not been able to do all 3, right? And that's okay, because you keep practicing at it. So let's test you now. I did tell you I had a test. You don't have to take a pencil out, but I'm going to see if you can help me. And the balloon is like ready for you. That's a cheer for you. Ready? So, advice number 1, believe in yourself. Advice number 2, put in the work. And advice number 3, stay focused. All right. You guys can do that? Yes. You are the face of Merrick for the next year and the future. You'll be on our website. We'll talk about you. You are a memorable class. This year, we were worried about 2 groups of students more than any other group of students. And for families here, if you have another child in Merrick who's in a grade outside of kindergarten or 5th grade, don't take this the wrong way, but 5th grade and kindergarten was the most important groups of students to us this year. And you know why? Because with the pandemic, our kindergartners, many of them weren't able to go to pre-K. They weren't able to get help early on. They're starting school without some of the supports that kids traditionally come to school with. So we were worried, could we have the resources, could we put in the energy to help them recover and be on the right track? And our 5th graders, our scholars, our graduates, we wanted to see you before we sent you off to one of the hardest experiences in life, which is middle school. But you follow those 3 pieces of advice, you'll be okay. But middle school is where memories happen. Middle school is where you start to figure out what you think you're good at. Middle school is where when I was a kid in middle school, I had to take the first test that told me what I was supposed to be when I grew up. And I think it told me like a sports broadcaster or something like that, or an archaeologist. I don't know how the 2 relate, but I remember taking tests in middle school about like what we would be when we grew up. People start to ask you about what high school you're going to apply to when you're in middle school. You've been at Merrick for 6 years. You only have 7 years left until you graduate high school. You're almost at the middle point. So as fast as middle school went, as fast as elementary school went here at Merrick, middle school goes like this. High school goes like this. And next thing you know, you're done with school and having to make decisions. Am I going to go off to college, to graduate school? Have I put in the work in high school and middle school so that I got some choices? Middle school is probably your most important years as a student. Because if you don't put in the work, if you don't believe in yourself, and like hardest of all these in middle school is staying focused, because all kinds of things start to change with you. Your friends become more important than your family, right? Folks in the audience who went to middle school, remember, middle school is the first time where your family and the adults around you are less important than your peers. Your self-image of who you think you are, or how your body starts to change, or if people around you are growing quick and you're not growing as quick, or how your voice changes, or what you think you're good at and become popular for, that carries into high school. And in New York City, you have to apply for high school. So to give yourself the best choice to go to the best high schools, you got to put in the work the next 3 years. So we wanted you guys here this year, and I know we thanked our teachers already, but if you've watched the news, or if you yourself work in education, you know this is one of the hardest, most stressful, anxiety-inducing years. Teachers are leaving at a high rate because of the stress, because of the complications. If you watch the news, whether it was around COVID or politics about what books kids should read or what's relevant in schools right now, or should schools focus on kids' mental and social and emotional health or academics, you know this is a hard year for us. And so I do want to give our teachers a round, and if you're sitting, all teachers, please stand up one more time. I want to give them a round of applause one more time. Thank you. Now, they're also ready for us to get this ceremony going, because after this, they're done with their 5th grade teaching, so I know they deserve a vacation. So let me just say lastly, thank you guys, lastly that I said I was here to give thanks, give advice, What was the last thing? Gift. Wait, was it gifts? I figured you guys would be the loudest on that. Give gifts. All right, so families, I have an important announcement. Last summer, we purchased Chromebooks for every student because we needed them. Now, many families already have, kids sometimes have multiple devices at home. Sometimes they're your devices, sometimes they're siblings' devices. And we know those tools are important. We also know going into middle school, having access to tools is important. Now, you can have access to technology and use it to just be distracted all day, or you can have it and use it as a resource for learning, as a gateway to exploring the world or curiosity. And so with that said, all of these scholars in front of me, they gave in their Chromebook last week? A couple days ago? Yesterday. What do I know? What do I know? Thank you. They gave in their Chromebook yesterday. Well, what we're doing now is we're cleaning those Chromebooks. We're checking those Chromebooks. We're going to wipe Merrick's security software on those Chromebooks. And in 3 weeks, we're going to send your family a message to come to the school because we're giving you those Chromebooks. However, and we got a nice case for you for those Chromebooks with some positive words for middle school. But families, we're not giving them to your children to be more distracted. And we know that's a tough one. I know it's a tough one with my own. But I also know with my own middle schooler, he's used it to focus on things, to study things, to engage and explore things, get his homework done when he needs to. And so for scholars around me, I want you to use it for good, use it to be resourceful, use it to work your mind, to explore things. And if you want to play some games where you can learn something from them. Learn some coding with those devices. Do something productive. But nevertheless, they're yours. We're going to clean them up for you, get them ready. Hopefully you didn't give them back broken. That's all right. I see some. Remember, your faces are going to be on our website, so keep those faces right. But they're yours. You deserve them. You put in the work. We hope it helps you as a resource for middle school. And I just want to say, once you graduate from Merrick, and if you didn't know, families, Merrick is the first charter school in Queens. This is our 22nd year of history. And any alumni of Merrick is always family of Merrick. So if you need to come back, see us, tell us about your experience in middle school, tell us about the good and the bad, get some advice. You are always welcome and you are always family. I congratulate you guys. Do well in middle school. Follow those 3 pieces of advice.
He doesn't like this. So Dr. Manuel joined Merrick Academy in 2019. And then he left us, tears. And then he rejoined us, cheers, in 2021. And it was great because between myself, Mr. Waterson, and Ms. Valerio, when he came back, we got 1,000 extra jobs to do. And one thing I can say about him is that he's a man of why. Sounds great, but why? And how do you know? So I would always quote an article I read or a journal. The hardest conversations were always about COVID. I would say, Dr. Manuel, we need to close the school and then have quarantine like 15 classes. And he would go, but why? And what are you going to say to the parents? And what's the data? And what's the this? And in the moment, it might seem super frustrating, but it makes you a better leader. It makes you a better thought partner because you can be confident about what you're putting out there, especially when it's difficult. And I've been called a lot of names besides Ms. Keith when I've had to quarantine classes because we know it's difficult. It's difficult on parents and families. What are you going to do with your kid? I mean, I have 3 of my own. But he is an amazing leader. And on behalf of myself, Mr. Waterson, Ms. Valerio, the board, and the school, we wanted to present you with another bouquet of flowers. Let's give a round of applause for Dr. Merrick. So The next person I'm going to introduce is our Board of Trustees President, Ms. Camille Jarvis. And there's two things I'm going to say about her. If you ever have a conversation with her, she'll tell you about her garden, and she might pull out her phone and show you pictures. It's quite beautiful. And she'll tell you about her grandchildren. And so what does that tell you about this person? The garden tells you she's a person that thinks of growth, vision, moving ahead, sustaining yourself, right? Sustenance. And then when you think of grandchildren, you think of legacy, pouring into others. So this is the person that we now have leading our board. And I want everyone to give a round of applause to Ms. Camille Jarvis.
Good morning, good morning. That was deep. That was deep. My first profession when I left high school, I always wanted to be a teacher since I was at whatever grade. When my mother would go to the grocery store, I line up the furniture and I'll have school and then fix it back when I see her at the corner, Princess and John Street. I'm from Georgetown, Guyana, and I joined the Merrick Academy Board of Trustee almost 6 years ago because I live in the community. There were some challenges at the school and we've worked through those challenges. But I'm happy to be here today. And I don't have a prepared statement. That's beautiful. But Dr. Manuel hit on some of the things I was talking about. So what I'm going to share with you is going to tie just like neatly into what he said. And so for me, this is the day that the Lord has made. It's beautiful weather. You look beautiful, the colors, the students, and I'm glad to be here with you to celebrate. I want to say thank you to the parents, to the teachers, to the school leadership. The last 2 years has been very difficult. And I really am going to ask the teachers to stand again. Right? Those who are standing, and those of you. And also with the teachers, we have the deans. We have the school deans who do a tremendous work. We have Ms. Valerio, who is admin, and it's a whole team that makes, you can say it, that makes this possible for your children. I must tell you a little about the board. We are community stakeholders, professionals in various fields. The governance board is a voluntary position. Nobody is paid. We are always recruiting members from the community. Now that your child might no longer be here, you might be interested in joining the board. We do have openings on the board. I became the board chair last December, and we're trying to restructure and build that board. So let me give you a little tidbit, and I'm not going to be long. My children told me I'm not a comedian either. It's funny. So on my way over here, I live not too far. I said, what do I talk about? Dr. Manuel and a group of us were at a teachers' conference at the National Charter School Conference in DC for the past few days, and we heard so much about change. Because of what we've gone through the last 2 years, things that we didn't anticipate happened. Who would imagine that, a whole school of kids would be home doing work from a computer, right? And so change is what's in the air. But as I drove in and I parked, the thought that came to me that I want to share with you, and the students and the parents and the teachers, our teachers have demonstrated it. And that's why I think we have to continue to celebrate them, is patience, right? Patience. Dr. Manuel talked about putting in the work, and that's so important and being focused. But as you put in that work, you have to learn to be patient with yourself, right? And as I'm sitting there, I said, let me see what's the dictionary description of patience. And it says it's the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. Now, who wants to do that? Right? But that's exactly what we are called to do right now. So let me give you the funny part of it that I was just beaming. The example they say, you can find bargains if you have the patience to sift through the store. I'm like, that's the best, the dictionary can come up. So let me tell you why I'm laughing. When I saw this dress I'm wearing in the store, it cost about $35. And they didn't have my size. But I really like this dress. And this is about 4 years ago. And I hope the tag is not still here, because, right? And I would go into the store every now and then they didn't have it for a while. And then I went back into the store at the end of one season, and there was this dress again. They still didn't have my size, but now it cost $5. Right? And I just love a bargain. So as I look at this, I said, I had the patience. I kept it. I lose a few inches. I'm not going to say it's pugs, but I was able to squeeze my way into it. So patience is one of those things in life that we don't want to express or engage in. But as you do the work and you're patient with yourself, you're patient with your learning, you develop your strength. Because you would have tried and make a few mistakes, and because you become focused and you're determined, your patience will take you to that next level. And that's what we're going to go through as a school community. We have to be patient with all the rules and the changes in the regulations, but there's something beautiful that's going to be on the other side of this COVID experience. Thank you, parents and families and supporters, for being here today. And best congrats to all of the graduates. Thank you.
Ms. Jarvis, before you go, I have to say this. This is my first year at Merrick Academy. But however, every time I'm on a board meeting, she's popping in the school building. She's so interactive, and she always greets you with such love and grace and with a warm smile. So on behalf of the Merrick Academy family, we just want to give you a bouquet of flowers to tell you thank you for all of your hard work and your efforts, and we really appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
So at this time, we'll have a message from our Director of Student Support Services. She is a vital role, and as you've probably seen her about 5 times in the last hour, but she is a vital role in the success of where Merrick Academy is right now, especially through this COVID period. So I introduce the summit presenters to others, Ms. Zenzali Keefe. Give her a round of applause.
So I'll keep it short, but let you know, my speech is the precursor to Mr. Waterson's. I don't know if many of you know, he is a preacher. And so I like to rev things up so he comes and brings the message. So a couple of things I want to say to parents, from a parent. I have a 17-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 6-year-old. See, that last one was an accident. I love her, but my other one's about to go to college, okay? So anyway, any decisions that we made as a team, we thought as an administrator and as a parent. When you were dealing with us closing classes down, we were dealing with classes being closed down, for our kids, having multiple kids at different schools, figuring out who's gonna watch them, all of those things. They're very difficult. And there was a lot of trauma that comes out of dealing with COVID, right? We're talking about a pandemic. And for many of us, the only thing that matches this is September 11th. I remember where I was on September 11th. I was in my classroom teaching, and I thought the teacher next to me was crazy when she told me what happened, Okay, and it dates you because we were listening to a radio, right? So I remember that. You're going to remember where you were when you got the email from your child's school, right? That in March, the school was going to go remote, and you had to figure it out. You remember that. And so when we think about that, I want us to give ourselves the grace to say that there are things that come along with having to figure out your whole life. Because just because we as the school say that this is what's happening, that doesn't mean that your employer is understanding. It doesn't mean that you have the network of supports to help you when your child is home. It doesn't mean that your job is, some people still had to go to work every day because you're an essential worker, you're a first responder, and so you still had to continue work. So we had a pandemic in a country that wasn't actually dealing with what parents had to deal with when things shut down, because everything didn't shut down. You still got to go to the grocery store. You still got to go to CVS. Some of the hair salons were still open on the low. There were different things that you got to do, but you figured it out. And in figuring it out, there was a stress that came along with it, right? It's something you carried with you, something that's still there because COVID's still here. And whether we want to admit it or not, as parents, we know that our kids feel our stress, right? So when you get that text from me that says, because this is the class I'm going to say, because I feel like in 5th grade, they were probably quarantined the most. 5-3. 5-3, quarantine the most, y'all get the award. All right. Look how we can laugh about this now. Y'all definitely wasn't laughing when I sent those emails. I'm just saying. I'm happy that we're all good. But I would be like, we had a group text, administrative text. I was like, yo, with a lot of O's. 5-3 is quarantined again. Are they all drinking from the same juice or Kool-Aid? What is happening? Right? And you know, like, so that it's hard. You don't know how hard and stressful it is to send that email, because I know it doesn't just end with the email. Now you've got to plan, because sometimes I found out at 12 or 1 in the morning, and sometimes y'all got the text at 5. And initially, your kid couldn't ride the bus. They couldn't come to after school. So there were all of these things that we were doing, because even though I knew and we knew you would be upset, right, by what you had to do to figure it out, your kid was safe. Those are the hard decisions you have to make during a pandemic. And these kids right here and the kindergartners yesterday had to go through school during a time that we didn't have to. We weren't going to school during a pandemic. And so I'm going to say this to you as a person. Dr. Manuel spent a lot of his time in middle school and in high school, and Mr. Waterson has the same experience. I spent a lot of time in high school. Is that kids figure it out and they catch up. Whatever they did not learn from March of their 3rd grade year and 4th and 5th, by the time they graduate from high school, they will know as much as you or more. It happens. So you don't want to feel that you have to rush. In the summer, have their minds engaged, but let them have fun. For those of you who's coming in the summertime, raise your hand. Now, it's more hands than I saw on my list, but okay. Y'all can put your hands down. So in the summer, we're going to be learning, and we're going to have lots of fun. But as parents, you have to, I did this with the class, I did this with the parents yesterday, because, again, stress. What we're going to do is, and kids, you're going to do it along with me, we're going to take a deep breath. Not yet. Y'all are making me have flashbacks to rehearsal yesterday. Just saying. We're going to take a deep breath, and you're going to hold it for 3 seconds. And when you let it out, I want you to let out all of the stressors that came along with the pandemic. Because you're a parent, so they're going to stress you out. Past college, past them having kids. I mean, I still stress my mother out, and I have 3 kids, right? So they're going to continue to be there, and that's what parenting is. But I want you to let out the stress that has come with COVID, the stress of knowing that we've lost close family members and friends and those things, right? That you couldn't visit family members for over a year. We're going to let that out, and you're going to forgive me for all the emails, too, in that deep breath. That also has to come out with that, okay? So we're going to breathe in. We're going to hold it for 3 seconds, and then we're going to let it out. Okay, ready? Let's take a deep breath. And let it out. Awesome. To the 5th graders, I just want to say this to you. I stopped teaching middle school because y'all become extra people in middle school. Special. I have a special name for it. I won't say it here, but you guys are very special in middle school. But I'll say this for you. You're going to mess up. You're not going to know everything. And that's okay. We don't know everything. You don't have to know who you're going to be or become. Just know that if God made you, then you have a purpose on this earth. And that it is no one's job outside of your maker to tell you that. So if anyone makes you feel bad about yourself, how you look, how you speak, your feelings, right? Just know that there is a purpose for you on earth, and that no human can tell you what that purpose is. Put your thumbs up if you understand what I just said. Because in middle school, y'all make fun of each other a lot. Put your thumbs down. And so I want you to be what you want others to be to you. I'm going to say it again. I want you to be to others what you want them to be to you. So if you don't want someone making fun of you, then when you see someone's sneakers, don't go, what are those, right? Okay, because, right? So don't do that. I actually think that's quite funny, but they shouldn't do it. You know how when a kid says something, like a little kid curses, and you're like, you shouldn't say that, ha, 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 until they get 10 and they're saying the same curse and then it's no longer funny, right? So you just want to make sure that you are your best self and know that you're going to make mistakes. And parents, let them make the mistakes. Because listen, the doctors and the lawyers, you know what these kids are making $1 million off of? Chewing food in front of a camera and people watching them. People watch people chew a sandwich and they make millions of dollars. What is it called? ASMR. There you go. So, scholars. So just know that the things we thought of, right? Don't worry, this is held. I can't speak for that tent right there, but this tent right here is good. So just don't leave this tent, okay? Is that the things that we were taught, right, and how to make money and how to be successful, it's different for these kids. So let them figure it out. It's a different generation. What you have to teach them is continue to teach them how to be a good person. That there is a force greater than us on this earth. Because once you know that, then you move differently in this world when you know that it doesn't begin and end with you. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you so much. And we're going to move on with the ceremony. You're going to come back up? Have a blessed day, and let's give another round of applause for class of 2022.
Okay, we just want to give a special thank you to our leader, Miss Keith, where on behalf of the SST team, thank you, Ms. Keith. I pronounced it.
Can we give her another round of applause? So at this time, we'll have the introduction of our valedictorian and salutatorian by none other than Mrs. Krutzler. Give her a round of applause.
Good morning. Hey. This year's valedictorian recipient has demonstrated academic excellence across all subject areas throughout the whole year. Her determination to succeed has made her a role model to her peers. She has been at Merrick since kindergarten and is every representation of what a Merrick Lion should be. I know I speak for all of her teachers and classmates when I say that we couldn't be prouder. We are confident that this scholar will go on to accomplish great things in the future, and we wish her all the best. Please welcome Chinezi Onagaluchi as this year's class valedictorian. Woo! You got this. Ready? Go ahead.
Okay. Welcome, parents, teachers, faculty, and my fellow classmates. I want to thank you all for attending the 5th grade graduation ceremony. It feels good to be the first graduating class post-pandemic. Today, we celebrate all of our achievements and successes. I'm sure that every parent is proud as this is another step to greatness. Looking back on all the years, we've made many memories and accomplishments. It's been hard these past few years, yet the teachers work hard each day to garnish us with knowledge and make us champions. Thanks to them, we are all ready to move on to middle school. I'd like to thank the Merrick staff, especially Principal Watterson, Miss Keith, my teacher, Miss Krutzler, and all the other 5th grade teachers. I would also like to thank my mom and dad, my teacher, Miss Harrison, and my broadcasting teacher, Mr. Ahead, for providing us with useful knowledge and education. And to my fellow classmates, we did it! Look good. We made memories that will last forever. I'm confident we will all go on to accomplish great things in the future. I wish you all nothing but success. Congratulations to the Merrick Academy class for 2022.
We just want to say congratulations to Chinezi one more time. It really is a real accomplishment to be a valedictorian. These are for you. You're welcome. Go sit down. Okay. Ready? Okay. This year, we are blessed to also have the salutatorian in our class. This young lady has earned the privilege of being honored today because of her hard work, determination, and willingness to always improve. She can best be described as humble. Given all of her academic success this year, she continues to focus on working hard to better herself and even help her peers when needed. She has been an absolute pleasure to teach. Her classmates love her, her teachers are so proud of her, and we wish her nothing but success and happiness in her future. Please give a big round of applause for Layla Williams.
Good morning, parents, teachers. Good morning, parents, teachers, staff, and the graduating 5th graders. I first want to congratulate everyone in the 5th grade class at Merrick Academy. All of us have worked hard at school. We also have had lots of fun and built great relationships. I have been part of Merrick Academy for 6 years, and it has been a great journey. Now we all are preparing to part ways and move on to middle school. This can be a scary thing as many of us are going to different schools. However, I have high hopes for all of us in the future. As we look forward to our next stage in life at middle school, let us all commit to use all the knowledge and skills we have gained at Merrick Academy. By doing so, we will be successful in all of our endeavors, and let's be our best selves every day and work hard to accomplish all of our goals. I'd like to thank all the teachers who have helped me and all of my classmates get to where we are now. Through kindergarten to 5th grade, all of my teachers have helped me with my grades and taught me lots of things that I will carry with me always. I have been very lucky to have been part of this community all these years. I truly appreciate all their support. Finally, I'd like to shout out all my classmates. I know we've made our parents and teachers proud. Good luck to all of you in whatever the future may have in store. And Merrick Academy, thank you for the memories. We will miss you.
You did a great job. Congratulations again to Layla, and this is just a special thank you from leadership. We're so proud of you. Great job. You did awesome. Okay. I am now going to present the Thomas Greer Award. Mr. Thomas Greer is one of 10 children. At the age of 13 months, he was plagued with an infection in his lower spine. He was placed in a body cast for 6 months while doctors conveyed he would never walk unassisted. But look at him now. In September of 2000, he began his educational journey as a kindergarten student at Merrick Academy. Mr. Greer, at the same age, became very interested in karate. He joined to build his confidence, and he found it. In 2005, he went to nationals for the 3rd time, and he medaled for the first time and hasn't stopped. Recently, Mr. Greer tried out for the junior team for the last time, and with his perseverance and hard work, he successfully achieved his dream. Mr. Greer went to Bolivia and brought home the bronze. In 2003, Mr. Greer met Miss Hernandez as a 3rd grader, and his zest for learning changed. He made the honor roll, and he never looked back. He set goals upon himself. This same year, Mr. Greer had surgery on his hand and was diagnosed with juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. Mr. Greer, through hard work, graduated with a Bachelor's of Arts in Communications after 3 years and at the age of 20. This year's recipient of the Thomas Greer Award is someone who began her journey at Merrick in kindergarten with English as her second language. She has grown tremendously throughout her last 6 years. No matter what challenges were thrown her way, she has always persevered and with a smile on her face. I have no doubt that she will continue to shine as she moves on to middle school. Please give a round of applause for Dayanara Ricarte Palma. Thank you. I don't have the award. I don't think I heard either. Congratulations, Diana. Can we please just get our valedictorian and salutatorian back up, please? Congratulations.
On behalf of Merrick Academy leadership and for the academic awards that you both have demonstrated, not only throughout the 5th grade year, but throughout the years, we want to salute you, all 3 of you, and say thank you for showing us continually what this generation is made of. We honor you, we salute you, and we are proud of you. Let's give them both a round of applause, all 3 of them. Let's celebrate them one more time. Congratulations.
Hello, and congratulations to the graduating class of 2022 from Merrick Academy. Please give yourselves a round of applause. My name is Tomas Greer, and hopefully today I'm not taking too much of your time. I would like to give a congrats again to the students who will be taking the next step in their academic career, the teachers who empower them to do so, and the parents who are there to support them throughout this entire journey. In life, and not just academically, but in our everyday lives, we face challenges. And it's important to be able to acknowledge those challenges and be able to persevere and get through them so we're able to reach our goals. I'm here to present an award to a very special student who I believe has done all of these things. She has beat the odds, she's overcome many challenges, and today she is a shining star taking the next step to junior high school. So without any further ado, I would like to present the 2022 Award of Perseverance and Determination to Dayanara Palma. Congratulations, Dayanara. I'm very proud of you. Your cohorts are very proud of you. Your teachers and parents are also super proud, and we cannot wait to see what you accomplish. Congratulations and good luck in the next step as you move on to junior high school. Thank you.
Please welcome Miss Robinson for the presentation of the Gabrielle Gale Award.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's my pleasure at this time to present the Dr. Gabrielle Gale Award. Dr. Gabrielle Gale was a teacher here at Merrick for several years. She was a very hard-working teacher, and she was engaged in many activities. She was the grade leader for 4th grade. She enjoyed teaching mathematics, and she also enjoyed reading. She was pursuing her doctoral degree when, unfortunately, COVID took her away from us. Yes, I know. Today, however, I will present to you the awardee for the Dr. Gabrielle Gale Award. She is a very avid reader, one who is always engulfed in reading for information and also for pleasure. I will now present to you Rachel Boulevard. This is it?
It's not Michaela.
Oh, please. Congratulations.
At this time, we will have, by the way, this is all surprises for some of the students and scholars, so they were not expecting this. So those reactions are really genuine. However, at this time, we will have our presentation of our President's Education Awards by none other than Dean Koch. Give her a round of applause.
Thank you. The President's Education Award Program recognizing students' excellence and achievement since 1983. It was founded in 1983. It's the President's Education Award Program honors graduating elementary, middle, and high school students for their achievements and hard work. The program has provided individual recognition from the President and the U.S. Secretary of Education to those students whose outstanding effort have enabled them to meet challenging standards of excellence. Each year, thousands of elementary, middle, and high school participate by recognizing deserving students. And we now honor and celebrate 4 of our amazing scholars who are the exemplar of the President's Education Award. First, we have from 5-3, Shekinah Domar. Next, we have from 5-3 again, winner Prudence. Got it? 5-2, Nasir Pollard. 5-2, Brandon Clooney. Congratulations, guys.
So, as I mentioned, we are in for some surprises. So another two more awards that scholars didn't know that they all are receiving. From the Office of Senator Comrie, they will all be receiving a certificate of achievement for graduating 5th grade. Give them a round of applause and Senator Comrie. And last but not least, they all will be receiving a citation for the academic achievement from the council member Savina Brooks Prowler's office. Give them a round of applause. At this time, we will have Ms. Charter come with our acknowledgement, our award presentations.
Good morning. My name is Mrs. Charter, one of the classroom teachers for 5-3. All of our 5th graders received at least one award this school year in the following areas: academic excellence, academic improvement, and fine effort in an enrichment class, such as dance, STEAM, fine arts, African American history, and physical education. Students will receive their certificates in their folder after the ceremony, and a list of the category winners is located in the program. Congratulations to all. This year, a special award entitled the Parent Acknowledgement Award will be awarded to various parents and family members who have been an active participant in school activities, contributed to the overall wellness of their child's class, and have gone above and beyond throughout the school year. Parents and family members, when you hear your name, please stand, and please hold your applause until all of the names are recognized in each class. The award recipients for the Parent Acknowledgement Award from 5-3 are Miss Barker, Miss Bradley, Miss Gaffney, Miss Khan, Miss Hall and Mr. Volkerts, Miss St. Furman, and Miss Pena and Mr. Jerome. Thank you for everything this year.
From 5-2, I would like to recognize these parents who have been very hard workers, and they are very cooperative. There is a special parent that I always get hugs and kisses from every afternoon when she picks up her child. I have great pleasure in announcing these names. Mrs. Davina Pitt, she's really outstanding. She goes on trips with us where for going to the park, she's always there, very supportive. Mrs. Davina Pitt, that's Michaela Benjamin's mother. Miss Kalisha Stewart, Brandon Clooney's mother. Miss Delian James, Kirk Hayden's mom. Miss Kiana McKinley Grant, John Grant's mother. And finally, Miss Joy Sakumbi, Samuel Sakumbi's mother.
I'd like to thank these following parents of 5-1 for all their support. Christopher Graham, Veronica Clemente, Miss Valeria Schulman, Disolina Leon, Natasha Twitz, Tracy Gordon, Kiana McKinley Grant, Marie Caesar and Jean Gabriel, and Rose Turner Brown. Yeah. And parents of all three classes, you'll find your awards in your child's awards envelope at the end.
Apparently, they saved the best for last. Hey. My name is Miss Wilson. This is...
I'm Mrs. Mann.
And warmest gratitude for the following families for their continued outstanding contribution to the Excellence 4-5 success. Ms. Frazier, Ms. Conte,
Miss Williams, and Miss Ellis. Thank you so much.
So while we have the teachers standing, and I know that we have asked them to stand several times, we asked for the audience to give them a round of applause. So we have one more time. I want to start with Excellence E45, and I want to speak directly to Ms. Wilson. So when I walked through the door in 2016 as a substitute, the first class that I went into was Ms. Wilson. And when I went into Ms. Wilson's class, this class was an ICT class, so it demanded 2 teachers. And one of our teachers was out on leave. And when I went into the room, this was the first time in my over 20 years of education that I felt like I didn't need to do anything, because she had it all figured out. She had it all planned. She had everything, every T was crossed and every I was dotted. And I said, wait a minute. Now I know I done come from a long line of educators, and I feel kind of awkward. But when you visit her classroom or you visit her in the building, period, she is always on point, and she's always ready to assist. She's always ready to break down curriculum. She's always ready to make sure that we are doing what we have to do in regarding not only the academic care, but the social emotional care of our students. So today, on behalf of Merrick Academy, the whole entire staff and the leadership and the Board of Trustees, we just want to give you a little shine and let you know that we love you and we support you. Let's give her a round of applause. And E45, I have to continue. Miss Mann, for those of you, and I know the scholars and some of the staff had the opportunity to attend their prom, and the staff as well as the students got to see another side of Miss Mann. And Miss Mann, you know, I'm from Brooklyn, Eastern New York, Brooklyn, born and raised, and I felt like I had my counterpart when I walked through the building, because she is always on point, not only academically, not only social emotionally, but she also knows how to cut a step. And if you sit a little bit while longer, you may actually hear her freestyle. Right. So, and on that note, I think that the students would agree with me that we have one of the dopest educators in the building. We salute Miss Mann today. Absolutely. And now I want to start with 5-1 as well. So, Miss Krutzler, when I walked through this door, she actually had her maiden name. So I got to witness her not only get married, not only have a child, have children. I also witnessed the fact that she has always, and she's fortunate enough to also have the executive director's son inside of her class. Oh, what pressure. But she, nonetheless, has always stood the test of time. Whether she has been on maternity leave, whether it has been that we have pushed her and challenged her, she has always not only met the mark, but she's always went above. So I want to tell you personally, thank you for making it easy for me to come to work every day and lead the teachers. You are an example, and we salute you. 5-2, Miss Robinson. Now, I say that like that because she knows that I have a personal joke with her. She had the nerves to make some jerk chicken, and God knows that I'm gonna accept everybody's jerk chicken. That's the first thing. So I'm gonna talk about her academics for a while in a little bit, but I have to talk about her jerk chicken first of all. And she brought the jerk chicken inside of here, and the students delivered it, and I'm trying to work on my Aruba trip, and you know what that means when you try to work on your Aruba trip, you try to get yourself together, but I forgot about my diet, forgot about everything, and I feasted for a long time and then was looking for more. And then I later found out that some of the chicken that I received should have went to some of the other teachers, and I wasn't that kind in letting them know that I got it instead. But just as spicy, just as on point, just as the challenger and the pusher, and the one that will let you know, even as the leader of the building, if there is something that she's not sure about, if there's something that she doesn't agree with, or she has another philosophy, she is surely the one that will let you know. She doesn't only let staff know, but she also lets the parents know too. Let's try another way. She has pushed and excelled not only in ELA, but also in math. I'm happy that I made the right decision because I was her hiring manager and I'm the one who brought her onto this team, and I don't regret it. Thank you for every single thing that you have done for this community, not only academically, social and emotionally, as a family. You have challenged us and you have pushed us. Thank you for riding with us. We salute you. Now, I don't want to finish, and I'm going to skip this young man because I have something to say to him, and I'm not sure whether the community knows, but they're going to find out today. I'm going to go to Miss Charter. Miss Charter, I so happen to be her hiring manager too, and I kind of think that I'm kind of winning. You know, it's good when you can have a hiring manager when they actually hire you that you actually stay around. And then you go year by year and you say, wait a minute, okay, that was a good one. I don't know if anybody's in HR, you had that opportunity. You know that some of us, sometimes we get the ones that we say, what are we thinking? What did we do? What did we do? Miss Charter, no matter what, first of all, she will come to my office in a second. I will just walk in the building and she'd say, I have something for you. I have something for you. I said, Miss Charter, can you just give me a second? Sure. 1 second later, she's back. And I appreciate her. I truly appreciate her. She is on point. One thing that I love about her more than anything is that she advocates for the children. She pushes for the children. She not only advocates for the children, but she also advocates for the staff. She is a secret sauce to the 5th grade team, because when I know that they're thinking things behind the scene and they don't want to come to my office, she's the one who steps in front and she runs before to make sure things happen. I appreciate you, Miss Charter. Thank you for being here. Thank you for riding with us. Thank you through the good times, the hard times, the indifference times. You have made the difference. I can say on behalf of our students, on behalf of the families, that we could not have done it without you. And I want you to know that. We salute you today. Then last but not least, Mr. McCaskill. Quashawn McCaskill. The reason why I left him last but not least, he's been a teacher here when I walked through the door. I have watched him grow. I have watched him excel. I have watched him walk in confidence. I have watched him develop. He has, for the last 2 to 3 years, has been the grade team leader for the 5th grade. He has been an advocate. He has a way about him that when he wants to get something across, or if he wants to actually get it for the teachers, that he doesn't say it directly, he brings it as a suggestion. And make you think that it's your thought, but it's his. And I publicly say, whether it has been standing in the gap for young ladies, whether it has been standing in the gap for the young men, the kings and queens that are in this room, whether it has been on the basketball court or just being a secret coach to our students as well as our teachers, we not only want to honor you. If you have not received this notice, that also this will be Mr. McCaskill's last year here. We are saddened, and it's not because we want him gone, because we want him here. But there's some new adventures, and one thing that people learn about me is that I am a champion for growth. I'm a champion for excelling and walking in your call and going to deeper heights. And if that means that you have to step out of a place in order to go to the next place, then I salute you. Someone did it for me, and that's why I'm here today. So I make sure that I do it instead. So, Mr. McCaskill, while you are leaving us in forever family, and I already talked to him that if he ever hits New York, because he's relocating, that if he ever hits New York again, that please don't ever go look for another job, because we will find something for him to do, whether they're sitting right next to me because he's a thought partner. That we salute you, we honor you, and we respect you, Black King. We celebrate you today, Mr. McCaskill. Let us give our teachers a round of applause.
So we have another group of teachers that we want to acknowledge. So you have your core homeroom teachers, and then you have the other teachers who push in to come into the classes, or sometimes the kids come out. These are the classes in school that you remembered. I mean, back in the day, it was like home ec, right? Yeah, you're like home ec class. We call it PE now. It was gym class. PE now is way more involved. I remember us running around a lot. But they're learning real stuff in PE. Our students study science here. They study art, visual arts, performing arts. And so we wanted to recognize those additional adults in the building who have also helped to enhance the way that your children see the world by teaching them what math and humanities look like in practice outside of the classroom. So I want to bring these people up here to recognize them. And once they all come up, I want you to give them a big round of applause. Ms. Griffiths, Mr. Muir, Mr. Redhead, and Ms. Harrison, please come up. So we have Mr. Muir and we have Ms. Harrison, and I'm sure Mr. Redhead and Ms. Griffiths are teaching. So they can't be here. But let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. So Mr. Allen was acknowledged yesterday, and we gave him his flowers, but he was supposed to be acknowledged today. So we can bring Mr. Allen up. Mr. Allen got his flowers. Okay, I'm just letting y'all know. I'm not being shady. But Mr. Allen, come on up. Everybody give a round of applause to Mr. Allen. You come right here. You want to get a picture? Come, you want to get him some flowers so you can take a picture? You guys want to take a picture? Come on, Ms. Harrison. Ready? And we're matching. Me and Mr. Muir are matching. Thank you so much.
Can we give everyone that just came a round of applause? So I believe that you always reap what you've sown, even when you don't reap where you've sown. And the reason why I say that is because this is my first year here at Merrick Academy as the parent coordinator. And it's funny how life goes full circle. There's a grandparent that is here today that I've literally known my entire life. And the other week, I was in the lunchroom, and this child was having a moment, and I took him aside, and I just talked with him, and I encouraged him, and it turned his day around. And this morning, when I came in, I saw someone that looked so familiar that I've seen literally, that I've known my entire life, and I had to go up, and I said, "Wait, is that Miss Smith?" I said, I've literally known her my whole life, and to know that that was her grandson that I was encouraging that day in the cafeteria. So parents, I just want you to know that your labor is not in vain, and you may not reap where you've sown, but you will always reap what you've sown. I just want to shout out Miss Barbara Smith. Can everybody just give her a round of applause? She was one of my advocates as a young child, and so I just thank God for you, and I'm appreciative of you. So now, we have a very important time that I think everyone will enjoy. Can Christopher Gabriel come at this time? Give him a round of applause.
We will now be singing Roar by Katy Perry. Scholars, please stand.
Didn't they do such a good job? Give them another round of applause. Scholars, thank you for that wonderful selection. You may now take your seats. Parents, I know that you are excited. I know that you have been in for a treat this entire time. We have a few more things left on the program, but we're just asking that all parents have a seat. If you're standing at this time, there are some extra seats that are around, and someone can help you. But for safety precautions, we just ask that you remain seated. And no videography at this time as well. Okay. Now at this time, we'll have further presentations. Followed by that, we will have our introduction to our graduation charge by none other than Ms. Zenzali Keefe. Give her a round of applause.
So this part is going to move fast. I know you guys have been sitting here for a long time, but there are a few other people we want to acknowledge. So this person you met when your kids came in kindergarten. Then if you chose to leave or come back, you met this person again, because you can't get in without talking to this person. And then when you leave, this person is making sure your child's information is going to the new school. If your child rides the bus and you decide to call us at 3:25 to tell us that they're no longer taking the bus and it's going to be a parent pickup, she's the one that's on the walkie saying, pull so-and-so off the line. The parent is coming to pick them up. If your kid is still here afterwards, she's also the one that's calling. And I can't even list all the things that she does, right? Those are the things that I know you care about and you know. She's shaking her head back there because everybody know on the count of three, please say who I'm talking about. 1, 2, 3. Miss Clark. Miss Clark, please come up. Come up, Miss Clark. I'll meet you halfway, Miss Clark. And then last but not least, my team, and I don't even have everyone here, but the student support team, I mean, they do the student support work and they pass out lunches and they do lunch duty and they help clean up. I mean, I love my team. And so the people who I have who are here from student support, I see Miss LaRocca, Miss Budancing, Miss Curley, I see Miss Coke. Who else is out here from my team? Miss Harris. So Ms. Hernandez is not here, and Ms. Howard is not here. But I wanted them to come up because oftentimes these are the people that you don't see, right? Well, many of you do see them. But these are the people that are working behind the scenes, helping to support the teachers do what they do in their class. And this school wouldn't be a school without the teachers, and it wouldn't be a school without the student support team. So Ms. Coke is probably doing something right now. So you're going to come first. Come on, Ms. Coke. Come get your flowers. Let's acknowledge Ms. Coke, our dean. Ms. Harris, our social worker. Ms. Curley, our academic interventionist and L teacher. Ms. Budancing, another one of our AIS teachers. And last but definitely not least, Ms. LaRocca, our AIS teacher. And I'm going to pass it off to Mr. Waterson to acknowledge 2 more people.
So very quickly, is Miss Reed in the room? Is Miss Reed in the room? Miss Reed is probably moving all around the place because she's not only been our instructional coach for in the content area of ELA, but she's also been very supportive in making sure that programming has been running smoothly. And I could not have done the work that I've done this year without her. So even while she is not in the room, I want to acknowledge her. Let us put our hands together and give honor to Coach Reed. And last but not least, there was a young lady that in the month of August that I had the opportunity to interview. And when I interviewed her, I knew in the middle of the interview that she was the right person to do the job that I needed to get done for this year. And quickly, she stood up and she began to do the work. Not only did she begin to do the work, but if she did not know what to do, before the hour was over, she found a way to get it done. And she has been the person who has assisted me doing the transition from Coffee with the Principal to News You Can Use. She has set up all Zoom meetings. She has been the communicator for Parent Square. She has been the liaison for families and community engagement. And I want to honor the mistress of ceremony on today, none other than Family and Community Coordinator, Miss Karima Porter. We honor you, we salute you, and we thank God for you. She's a praying woman, by the way. I love you. I love you. I love you.
So here's the point we've been waiting for, the sermon from Mr. Waterson. But before we do that, I want to acknowledge someone who's hiding to my left. He's new to Merrick. And he made sure, you see this grass down here? I think he personally went and got it, if I'm not mistaken. He made sure our sound system was correct, that everything out here was beautiful. He's been an asset from the minute that he walked into this building. And I told him, I don't know how we could have actually pulled this off without him because of the skill set that he brings. So I'm not going to tell you his nickname. I'm going to say his real name. But I want us to give a big round of applause. This is the guy who opens your door. He's really just trying to keep it moving when y'all come in the morning. It looks like he's being nice, but he's like, okay, keep it moving. So I want us to give a big shout out to Mr. Rael, a.k.a., not going to say the secret name, Jones, our new Chief Operating Officer. All right, here we go. So my job right here is to get Mr. Waterson revved up, okay? Y'all ready? So Mr. Waterson, he started in education in 1998. And when he joined Merrick, I think he probably should get the award for the most jobs ever held at a single institution. So he was a principal in Massachusetts. He decided to start working on his PhD. And so he said, look, you know, everyone wants their little side hustle, right? Get a little money coming in while you're in school. So I'm just going to come in and I'm going to do sub work. I could leave the school, but I just want to come in so I can focus on my studies. So in 2016, he walked through the doors of Merrick as a substitute teacher. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember the teacher left, and so the kids he was working with, he didn't want to leave that group, so he decided to stay as a full-time teacher in the classroom. And I think he actually worked with Miss Miller, right, when he came in. And then he became a school leader in residence, assistant principal. I have 4 more titles after this, y'all, okay? I remember at the end of last school year, he became the director of academic operations, then the interim director of operations, and then this year, on November 2nd, he became the interim principal, and then months after that, he became the full principal of Merrick Academy Charter School. So let's give him a round of applause. So outside of school, and Mr. Waterson has said this before, he's a preacher. Am I saying the right term, a pastor? He's a pastor. And you'll know it when he speaks. He tries to hide it. It just comes out, right? Because you can't stop being who God ordained you to be. And I'm probably going to get emotional. I kept it together yesterday. It was very hard for us this year. And when Dr. Manuel came back, he said, y'all gonna have to do a couple of extra things. And we were like, what else can we do? And we did it. And he had to step in. It's very hard to step in as a school leader when you don't set the tone. It's very hard to step in as a school leader during a pandemic when the decisions that you make affect people's lives. Not just whether your kid's reading level has increased, their math level has increased. Your children's lives are the things that at the heart of everything that he does. The staff working overtime, stressed, having to manage that and uplift people. That's a calling. That is not something that you decide to do. That is something that God decides for you. And God decided that for him. And so when he gets up here and he speaks and he gives you a charge, and I said this to him, I said, you can have your speech ready if you want to. But the words are going to come to you. What you're supposed to say is going to come to you. Because this is a very, very special moment. I will never forget this. The teachers, parents, you'll never forget this moment because of all it took to get here. And we hit some bumps in the road. And we didn't do everything perfect. And some of y'all probably are still mad, and there's probably an email in our inbox that we didn't get a chance to read. But just know that everything that he's done with love, and he's done with compassion. So just know that even if you don't agree with every move that we make, know that he is charged. He has been given a charge to lead this school. And so we may not know why he decided to go left. But you know, we say we have a plan and God laughs, right? So Mr. Waterson has been leading us, and when we go left, when he goes left, we should follow left with him. And we should have confidence in him as he moves the school along this year and as he continues to move it on moving forward. So Mr. Waterson, now listen, I want students, I want y'all to uncross your feet, turn around, because I want y'all to stomp your feet, and I want you to clap as loud as you can. And parents, I want you to stand up as I call on Principal Charles Waterson.
So I was about to say praise the Lord, everybody, but I had to remember that I'm at Merrick Academy, Queens Public Charter School. But if you push me, we might just go there. Thanks be to God who gives us the victory. So I just want to bring some clarity into the pastoralship very quickly, and then I'm going to give and do what I've been called to do, is that so many of us may have had some different experiences within the house of institutions or the households of faith that you actually attend. And we know that some of them can be very oppressive and very abusive in how they demonstrate what we consider to the imago Dei, or the unconditional love of God. And I want to let you know that the work that I do here in the school is in a resemblance and a replica of what I do on the outside in the streets. And it's no matter who you are and wherever you are on life's journey, that I stand and I walk beside you, and the same God of your understanding walks right beside you. So there is no separation in what we do. So whoever and whatever and whoever and whatever and whoever and whatever, let me say it again, whoever and whatever you are, God of your understanding is with you at all times. And it doesn't take anything for you to be walking in agreement with the God of your understanding, because God doesn't require that. God requires us to be exactly who we are, humans. So I wanted to say that to you very quickly so to just help shift the room. I didn't come here to do a sermon. I'm not going to do one. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to speak into your hearts as well as speak into the scholars' hearts. I want to name something very quickly. Ms. Keith would have said to you that in 2016 I came on. And if you remember very clearly that in 2016 is when your child entered into the building. We have been on a 6-year journey. So to be standing here to give the charge in 2022 to a graduating class of 5th graders that are going to 6th grade, it is a special moment for me because it's when I walked through the doors, these babies were in kindergarten. And I was a substitute for Miss Montgomery's class. and several other class in kindergarten. So I had many of the students here, not only as a teacher, but also as a substitute. So it's a great honor. And I salute every single scholar here. They're deserving of every clap, every applause, every shout out. So if we can start doing that right now, just for the next 5 seconds, and let them know how much we love them and we appreciate them. This is their day of celebration. They've earned it. They've worked hard for it. And now I'm going to ask the scholars to do what you do. I want you to open up your mouth and raise the roof up in here. Let everybody know that this is your day. Let's give them some help. Come on, open up your mouth. You did it. You did it. You did it. You did it. We celebrate you. Whoop, whoop. We celebrate you. Good morning and congratulations to the graduating class of 2022. It is with great privilege and honor that I'm with you today to give you this year's graduation charge. To the Executive Director, Dr. Manuel, to Ms. Keith, our Director of Student Support Services, Mr. Jones, our Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Valerio, our human relations and human resources and business manager, to the entire staff, to our teachers, to the chairperson, Ms. Jarvis, to the Board of Trustees, families, the community, and most importantly, scholars. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to this class of 2022 as the principal of Merrick Academy, Queens Public Charter School. It would do me educational malpractice if I did not bring my predecessors into the room. So I want to take a moment to salute none other than Dr. Karen Valbram, who was the former principal in 2016. And I also want to bring also into the room Miss Samantha Pugh, who was also the principal of Merrick Academy. Let's give them a hand clap for the work they have done for our group of students. So there is a saying that to whom much is given, much is required. The significance of this year's graduation is a display of tenacity, strength, and perseverance. The rich legacy of 387 years in which schools have been open in the United States and 381 years of graduating fifth graders moving up and onward is particularly special this year. This year's fifth grade class has truly earned the right to move up as they prepare to take over this world and make it a better place. Since 2016, this cohort of students have travailed through education, growing, and learning. They have witnessed major shifts in this world, our nation, in our communities, and even right here in our school. Times of uncertainties, times of adjustments, times of fear. We laughed together, we cried together, yet in the same breath, shared glimmers of hope together as a beloved community. We could not have done it without each family member here. Please give yourself a round of applause. Your communities, your teachers from kindergarten all the way to fifth grade, we could not have done it without you. More importantly, scholars, we teachers show up, we administrators show up, but we would show up to an empty building if we did not have you. So we are honored, and I'm speaking on behalf of every single staff member in this building. We are honored, and we have been honored to have served you for these last 6 years. We salute you. We are proud of you. We know that you will take over. We are confident in knowing that when you reach the ages of not only 21, 22, 23, 24, 30s, 40s, and close to 50, in which I am, but even now, that there is work for you to do here in the earth. I can speak to you as a father of 3, and as a father of 3, my youngest daughter being almost 20, my second child being 22, and my oldest almost turning 31. I can speak to you on what work, yeah, black don't crack. And these knees have been on the ground praying for my children. What I can say is that I'm a testament of what it looks like to come out of East New York, Brooklyn, from the projects, Penn Wortman, Cypress Hills and know what it is to fight for my life because I watched some of my people die right before my eyes. But to be able to say that I'm standing here and that none of my children went wayward. So I want to send that as a testament to you, families, that if you keep on pushing, if you keep on believing, if you keep on praying, if you keep on getting out of the children's way and don't form and fashion them to what you want them to become, but just mold them and allow them to evolve into the greatness in which they've already been called to here on the earth, that I'm a living witness that what you have dreamed of and what you have envisioned will come to pass. So hold on, stay focused, keep encouraging yourself, keep believing in what you are doing. No, parents, we have a couple of handbooks that are out there. I want to say to you, as a person who is a parent, that those books are good, but they are not the finished work of what it is to be a parent. At the end of the day, every day and every second is going to look new. And I am well confident that our ancestors, our mother and fathers who have taught us, who have shown us, who have made mistakes before our very eyes, have put in everything that we need in order to do the job, in order to get them where they need to go. So again, I salute you and I applaud you for pushing and believing in them. If you will allow me for the next few moments, graduates, to speak directly to you and the community that supports you. Scholars, I want you to know this world needs you. This world needs you now more than ever. Yes, you. Bayard Rustin, a Black activist, once said, "We need in every community a group of angelic troublemakers." Scholars, this world needs your brilliance. This world needs your intelligence. And guess what? I think Bayard Rustin was right. I believe that this community right here are angelic troublemakers, and we need you to open up your mouth, to do what you've been called to do here on this earth. Make this world a better place. Don't allow any discrimination, any oppression of any people. Allow what you see in the injustices that you see in the world. Allow the inner side, the core of you, and everything that God has called you to do, to not be afraid. And even if you are afraid, take that scaredness, take that ability to be afraid and work it in order for you to stand up and face life and do what God has called you to do. This world is in need of you. This world is in need of you to be able to stand up, to look at the things that are wrong and correct them. You have everything inside of you that you need in order for you to make it. Don't wait on tomorrow, but begin doing the work even now, today. Someone said earlier, they said like this. They said, if you see somebody doing the wrong thing, you have a choice to make. You either can be a part of the crowd or you can be the person that actually stands up for those that are being picked on. Some of us will be picked on in middle school. Some of us will be picked on in high school. Don't silence your voice. Make sure that your voice is even louder. This world needs your witty inventions. This world needs your fight for justice. This world needs your ability to make this world a better place, more loving and peaceful. This world needs your excellence, your Black and brown excellence, my kings and my queens. In the midst of a global crisis, a racial pandemic, the reopening of our world and our school, we see we all have work to do. Today, your graduation is a symbolization of your collective voices letting the world know your voice matters. Indeed, it does. And yes, while we have just finished celebrating Juneteenth and the advancements of our world, let me be very clear in stating that this world still has a lot of work to do, and we need you to show up. I've already said to you several different times throughout this speech, this world needs you to show up. One of the major things that I want you to walk away with is that this world needs you to show up. Show up in your greatness. Show up in your excellence. Show up in your fight. Show in your tenacity. Show in your success.
showing your ability not to look like or act like or sound like anyone else, but sound and act and be exactly who you are. You are wonderfully, you are fearfully, you are marvelously created in the image of the Almighty God, and there is nothing that anyone or nobody can do to separate you not only from the love of God, but the mission that you've been called to do. So walk in it. Parents, it is our job to get out of their way. Let me say that again. It is our job to get out of their way. But our job is to support them. Our job is to push them. Our job is that when they fall, to help them get up. Our job is that when they stand up, that we don't need to stand with them, but what we need to do is make sure they have shoulders that they can put their feet on so they can see a little bit higher, they can look a little bit longer, and they can finish and see the end of the line. The end of the line is a beautiful place. The end of the line is a peaceful place. The end of the line is a loving place. The end of the line is engineers in the house. The end of the line is presidents that are sitting here. The end of the line is engineers that are sitting here. The end of the line is scientists that are sitting here. The end of the line is TikTok explorers and entrepreneurs sitting here. The end of the line is new social media apps being developed right here. The end of the line right here is teachers, principal, musicians, singers, whatever they want to do. The sky is not the limit because we have a whole entire universe. We have a whole entire galaxy that they can step into and download whatever the universe is calling them to do into their human database and produce it out. And if I was in church, I would say, do I have a witness? Do I have a witness? Do I have a witness up in here? Because if I have a witness up in here, I see some hands waving. Let me get you a little bit free. Even though we're after school, we walk and we show up all over the place, wherever we are at. I'll behave, I'll behave, I'll behave, I'll behave, I'll behave, I'll behave, I'll behave. But I was in church, I would say hallelujah. You are the generation to carry us over into a greater day. Always remember to do what is right. Always be concerned about what is right, what is justice, what is respect, what is honor, what is love of all people. You won't always get it right. We will make mistakes. We all do. Always listen to the truth that lives inside of you, even when others would rather you do something different. Truth, let truth be your guiding principle. Scholars, let me leave this with you. Love to love. Love to love. This world has enough hate already. Love to love. Someone says, why is Principal Waterson speaking to them like this? Because guess what? I already see them in the future. They're going to need this. Love to love. Let love be your guiding principle. Let truth be your guiding principle. The earth has no more room for any type of hate anymore. Love people for who they are and not what you think they should be. We are all made again in the image of God, and when we all realize that, we won't hurt another person because they don't look like us, they don't sound like us, or they act different. That is what makes the world so great. Our diversity, our inclusivity, our equity. That's what makes this world a better place for us to free ourselves. Scholars, be the best that you can be. Study hard. Have fun. Let me say that first. Again, study hard, but have fun. Never seek to hurt anyone. Love greatly and stay focused. Focus on your dreams and your goals. Scholars, don't ever give up. If anyone tells you no, don't let that stop you. Keep going until you get the yes that you need. And if you can't go through the front door or the back door, create the door that you need in order to get through to it. Celebrate that moment when you get the yes, but then get back to work. Finally, while you are building a world you want to see, A world where all are free, free of discrimination, free of all matter of hate and bigotry, but a world where we are all happy and free. Remember to stand up for the rights of others, put this world on its proper course, a world where everyone is celebrated and loved. Focus on school, focus on your dreams, become the person you want to be, and again, don't let anyone stop you. If you do these things, I promise you, you will always have your family and community backing you up. I want to leave you with these words. Know that you are descendants of a mighty people who gave birth to the civilization we call this world. The people who survived the hurls of slave ships across vast oceans. People who innovated and created and loved despite pressures and tortures unimaginable. These descendants are in your bloodstream, pumping your heart in our hearts every second. They have prepared you. You are prepared for what's next. You hold the keys to liberation and truth. What this world needs now is already inside of you, scholars. Dream bigger than your family could have ever dreamed. Go further than even your mind can conceive. The power is already in you. You have everything that you need. Stand in pride. Take the risk. Take the risks that are necessary for this world to see your greatness. Take the leap necessary to move to what brings you joy. When you see a mountain that seems like a battle that you can't get around, stop fighting with the mountain and just speak to it and walk around it. When you see a mountain that seems too hard to climb, when you see a battle that looks like you won't win, hear in your heart, look again, because you're never alone. Your family and your communities, Merrick Academy, will always have your back. We got you, and you got this. So this is what I say to you, scholars. Lead, leaders. You got this. Dream, dreamers. You got this. See visions, visionaries. You got this. Sing, singers. The world needs a better sound. Engineers, it's time to design. Writers, we need more literature to open our hearts and minds. Artists, it's time to create. Teachers, it's time to teach. Warriors of peace, love, and justice have guided us until this day, and so will you until we all stand in harmony, because you got this. We are dependent on you. We salute you. We honor you. It has been a pleasure serving you, this class of 2022. Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations, class of 2022. God bless you.
So I really didn't want to have to speak after Mr. Watterson. We were trying to figure out the best thing to say, but what we felt was the truth, right? And so I don't have any good quotes for now. My energy's a little bit more drained. But, you know, one, we also should thank the caterers of these flowers, because I think we gave them business for another year. But Mr. Watterson, these are for you. And a couple quick things. One, this is my 24th year in education. I spent 10 as a principal, middle school and high school, and been in other various work and roles. And I do miss being a principal. It's probably the best job I've ever had. No offense to the Board of Trustees. Because it's the closest you can get to being the first and last advocate for every student and every family and every educator in the building. It's the charge of the most difficult decisions that don't have an easy answer. And it's the daily energy that has to be given, because every single scholar, every single family, every single adult in the building will feed off of your energy, your hope, your doubts, and your decisions in their best interests. And when we made the move to Mr. Watterson coming in and taking this role on, I had no second thoughts about it. I have no second thoughts about what's to come. And even though we gave you flowers, we have something in your inbox for you because I know you're planning some trips for the summer. So I also have a secret, which is it's a celebration of you from this year and all your hard work, but it's also a gift to say, go get rejuvenated because next year we got even more work to do. Thank you, Mr. Watterson.
Yep, I'm ready.
So if you are a parent of the students over here, we're going to announce them for them to come and get their diploma. So if you want to take a picture, right, and then we'll switch sides, and then we'll do this side next, okay? So we're going to do 5-1 and E45 first.
Excellence 4-5, please stand. Come this way. Musa Kanti. Jason Calhoun. Daniel Ellis. Sanaya Williams.
Five -1, please stand. Come on, Miss Mary. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Nathan Anderson. Emanuela Banford. Aaliyah Beal. Woo! Aiden Brown. Yay. Gabriel Chaitin. Christopher Gabriel. London Graham. Aaron Grant. Bishana Hendrick. Umu Kaba. Dakari Basket. Jeremy Leon. Wigan Lewis. Isaiah McLeod. Dylan Messier. Chase Payneline. Chinese Onagaluchi. Sienna Plunkett. Come on. Dianara Dinara Palma Ricate. Madison Roger. Rashida Shulman. Jeremiah Twitz. And Layla Williams. E4 and 5-1, please be seated.
Five two students, please stand. Michaela Benjamin. Rachel Boluwade. Brandon Cludy. London Davis. Shamel Davis. Liam Duran. John Grant. Kirk Hayden. Elijah Jordan. Ansa King. Kirk McFarlane. I'm sorry. Kyle McFarlane. Stephon Morris. Deborah Pena. Nasir Pollard. Delilah Russell Davis. Michael Simons. Kingsley Singleton. Samuel Sukumbi. Madison Weatherly. 5-2, you may be seated. Thank you.
5-3, please stand. Christian Bradley.
Kalia Bradshaw.
Nathan Cole.
Carter Cologne.
Shayla Coy.
You will get Yaya. Shekinah Domain? Shekinah Domain.
Yaya Demoya.
Aiden Elliott.
Levi Folks.
Aiden Francois.
What is on his neck? Paige Goburn.
Vance Hunt.
Jaylene Jerome.
Selena's last name is Jones, right? What is Jones? Selena Jones.
Savannah Libriel.
Say Andrea's last name again? Andrea Elijah.
Matherin. Jayla Langshaw.
You ready, my boy? Ethan Matherin.
Catalina Nicholson.
Nathaniel Powell.
Winter Prudence.
Say McCall's last name. Mikhail Volkerts.
Aiden Williams.
Braylon Williams.
And Caleb Williams. Nobody else.
Can we give all these graduates another round of applause? You got. Graduates that are standing, you may now take your seats.
This part brings me pleasure. Scholars, if you would, I need everybody to focus. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sit in your seats the way you should be. Everyone should have exactly their tassels to their right. Make sure it's on your right. And we are focusing. Acting on the recommendation of the faculties concerned and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Directors and the Executive Director of Merrick Academy, Queens Public Charter School, New York, and the State of New York, I hereby confer upon each of you diplomas with all of its rights, privileges, honors, and responsibilities. Congratulations to the class of 2022. Class of 2022, please stand. Focus in. Within the next 10 seconds, you will be sixth graders. Please move your tassels from your right to your left. You are official graduates of Merrick Academy, Queens Public Charter School. We are now looking at the new sixth graders. Please give them a round of applause. We salute you. Congratulations. You did it. Woo woo! Graduates, please remain standing until I tell you to have your seat. I want to make sure everybody's focusing in. Please have a seat.
I know you guys are excited. Go ahead, give yourselves another round of applause. As we close out, I just want to make one quick announcement. As you know, our executive leadership team, along with Dr. Manuel, has gifted all of these graduates their Chromebooks. So in a couple of weeks, myself, yours truly, Ms. Porter, you'll get a message from me by email, by text. I know I can be a little persistent, but you'll get all the information on Parent Square, letting you know when you can come to pick up those Chromebooks, okay? So at this time, she is one of our shining stars here at Merrick Academy. If you were at the prom, some of the staff knows that she shut the prom down with those dance moves. If you know, you know. But she is a gem here at Merrick Academy, and we will really miss her. I introduce to some and present to others, Shayla Coy.
On behalf of the graduates, thank you, Mr. Watterson. Mr. McCaskill will now give our closing remarks.
All right, guys. Good morning, families. I'd just like to close out today's ceremony with just a few words. Today is a great opportunity, a great day to uplift and celebrate our scholars for all of their hard work and sacrifices. To all of the graduates present today, I want to take the time just to say thank you for everything that you've done. I'd like to thank you and commend you for the hard work that you've put in to achieve what you have achieved here today. As graduates, do not think that the learning will stop here. Treat this graduation day as a gateway to higher levels of thinking and learning. As young adults, a new task is at hand, one that will involve both growth and maturity. As you all go on and embark on this journey, be bold, take risks, and do not let the fear of failure stop you. Failure is merely just a part of life. It is just another way to learn. I know you all will go on and do great things and make us all very proud. At this time, we'd just like to take the time to thank Dr. Emanuel, Mr. Waterson, Ms. Keith, Ms. Howard, Ms. Cope, and Ms. Porter, and as well as Ms. Hernandez. We have a small token of appreciation for you guys. And lastly, I'd just like to gather a round of applause, and we would like to congratulate Merrick Academy's 2022 fifth grade graduating class.
So as we close out, families, the scholars and graduates will be processing out first, and then I'll be calling out by class for you to exit to the street, and then from there you will retrieve your graduates.
So just to add a little bit more detail, when we go out, there's a couple of things. There's something that you should expect to grab. So again, like Ms. Porter said, the students will go out. We're going to need actually everyone who's in the back row and to clear that back area because the students are going to walk that way. Please do not follow the classes out until you're dismissed. When your scholars get out, they're going to be lined up. So if your scholar is in 5-3 or 5-4, they're going to be lined up behind the cones on this side. Scholars. We have to do some graduation. Thank you. If your scholar is in 5-1 or E45, then they're going to be lined up on this side. There's a step and repeat over here outside of the fence if you want to take a picture with your scholar. You're also going to get a manila folder. In that manila folder is your child's actual diploma. And the reason why you saw them kept walking away, because when we practiced, we only had one. So they had to keep giving it back to us. So they were a little confused, like, what do you mean today? So the actual diploma's in the folder, and there will be someone from my team to assist with the teachers with passing them out. Okay, are we ready to go? Yeah? Okay. So, I'm going to start with 5-1 and 5-2. So can all the scholars please stand? We're going to start on this side. You guys wait till I give you the direction to move, okay? Okay, don't move yet.
DJ Bravo, DJ Bravo, DJ Bravo, DJ Bravo. Champion, 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 champion. Everybody know say Bravo, a champion, 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 champion. Everybody know Chris Cale is a champion. Beanie a champion, Bounty a champion, Marshall is a champion, Bungie is a champion, Folland is a champion, Lara is a champion, Gale is a champion. Don't forget Michael Jordan, Obama a champion, Mandela a champion, Serena a champion, Wendy a champion, Shelly and a champion, 958 both a champion. Champion, 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 champion. Everybody knows say Bravo a champion. Champion, 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 champion. Everybody know Chris Cale is a champion. Come on, come on. Champion, me a real champion. Champion, me a real champion. Champion, me a real champion. Don't vex if your name not call. We have to leave them for bat some ball. We love soccer and dancehall. We love cricket and football. Come a dance in a my name we call. Champion, champion. Every trainee and every yard man. Champion, champion. Every BC and every Bajan. Champion, champion. Every trainee and every yard man. Champion, champion. Beanie a champion, Bounty a champion, Marshall is a champion, Bungie is a champion, Folland is a champion, Lara is a champion, Gale is a champion. Don't forget Michael Michael Jordan, Obama a champion, Mandela a champion, Serena a champion, Wendy a champion, Shelly a champion, 958 Bolt a champion. Champion.